Hello and welcome to a special edition bit of content for one zone man. I thought it'd be worth making a whole separate video purely for the rules in the series, especially since now I'm well into the account and I've learned a lot since taking on the challenge months ago about how this actually works in practice. Plus, I always refer to episode 1 for the rules, and let's just say it's not the best piece of content. Um, 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 I think it's fairly evident there why we want to move away from episode 1. So without further ado, let's get into the rules for one zone man. Rule 1, complete all the listed items on the All the Things add-on. This includes all major cities inside of zones that I unlock. This is level permitting, so obviously I won't be able to complete quests that aren't unlocked until higher levels or cross zones that I have yet to unlock. Once I unlock zones or levels that were preventing quest completion, I must go back to unlock zones and complete what is possible. Vendor items will only be bought if they have the collection cross/tick next to their name. This is more down to storage issues and being unable to house the amount of white vendor items in the add-on. Some things with Anniversary seem a bit off, as we've seen with the Magic Dust, where items may not actually be added to the game that were in the Era version of Classic. With this in mind, rare mob drops will only include their specific zone items. The Magic Dust is a great example where it drops from mobs more commonly in Westfall, so it isn't an item that only that rare mob drops. Mega rare drops will be farmed but will not lock us to a zone. I consider a mega rare to be a drop that shows on Wowhead as having a less than 0.01% chance to drop. This combined with rare spawn times and dungeon specifics may allow me to essentially backlog certain mega rare drops. I will, however, still commit to grinding these as a side task regardless of what zone I'm in. Rule 2. Perform the highest possible profession action in a zone. This includes fishing, cooking, first aid, and my two chosen professions, which are mining and tailoring. Rule 3. Get all possible dungeon drops for my class. No ninja looting allowed in dungeons. It includes lower level dungeons if I unlock them with a zone. Raids are currently a long way off and won't be addressed or considered until way into the future. Rule 4. Get every weapon skill to the highest possible level, which also does include bare hand and defense. Rule 5. Gain exalted with all possible factions within a zone. This is not zone specific, so battlegrounds are included. Arathi Basin, however, is a side grind due to the battleground just being dead unless it's the battleground weekend for Arathi Basin. Again, raid specific reputations will be addressed later in the series. Rule 6. No boosting allowed. Grouping is permitted for dungeons, group quests, and to lair hop. Rule 7. Use of the auction house is limited. We can sell items in the auction house, and I can buy required items to have my gear enchanted. I may open this up a bit further in the future if we ever get to raids, but until then, buying is purely limited for gear enchants. Alts can be used to store and sell items in the auction house, but nothing else. Player services can be used, so for example, enchanters and lockbox picking. Rule 8. Zones rolled by the Wheel of Doom. Once a zone is complete, a random adjacent zone will be rolled. Initially I was planning to roll any zone anywhere on the map within the level bracket, but I didn't expect to get such a high level in the first zone. These do not need to be path connecting, but I cannot swim out in the open sea or do crazy mountain jumps to get to a zone. They must be easily walkable. Zones that can be accessed by transport means, so trams, boats, are able to be rolled. So our first zone roll will be between Westfall, Red Ridge, Dustwood, and Dunmoreau. Hopefully that makes the rules crystal clear for the vast majority of the future of the series, but no doubt we'll come across some sort of grind that forces us to adjust slightly, and I'll need to make another one of these. Until then though, this is the best reference point for all One Zone Man rules. Thanks for watching.